you're singing.
Perfect.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to Steve Couper's podcast for aspiring real estate investors. In each episode, we connect with seasoned investors and industry subject matter experts that are willing to share their experiences and tips for success when investing in real estate. So today, it's a great day. I'm stoked to introduce my guest for Steve Couper's podcast number 23. I know it's hard to believe. 23,
Wow,
everybody.
23.
23. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and profound pleasure to welcome Michelle Mulligan and Melissa Gerard, also known by their friends as Mich'n Mel, and also known as Magnetic Ventures. Welcome, ladies. So before I go any further, please like, share with friends, and subscribe to this podcast. If you're enjoying what you see, hit the subscribe button. I'm really pleased to be able to share this time with you and learn more about what's got you into real estate. And a real pleasure to have gotten to know you in the recent past and look forward to working with you in this future. So before we go into any questions, can you maybe tell us a little bit more about yourselves and help set the framework for the questions we're going to ask?
Sure, sure. So I'm Michelle. I'm a government worker by day and a REI real estate investor by night. So essentially been working at the government for 25 years. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at for me. How about you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Melissa Gerard, and together we are Magnetic Ventures. We are the real estate company for those who are interested in getting into real estate without the hassle of the day-to-day maintenance of owning a building, so that everybody who invests can earn additional income or stream of income so that they can take more time to be with their family, their loved ones, or focus it on what it is they want to do. And so that's just a little bit of our model. We've been real estate investors for 2-3 years now, started in the pandemic.
Yep.
And so we are just passionate about the topic and happy to join you on this podcast and just share our interest.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a great frame of reference. You guys came together during the pandemic on this topic, said we've got to change our path, right? Change our future. So what exactly about real estate investing drew you into itself? Like what drew you into this stream? What moved you here?
Well, I've been attracted to real estate all my life for a better part of my life. Yes. So we moved a few times growing up, and every time my parents would, anyways, very blessed to be the family that could own a house. And so we moved into new housing, a new built home. And then we stayed in there for maybe about 5-10 years, and then we moved again. And I saw, the equity that you can gain from, having your own house. And then also, I got into property management a little bit, doing it for a friend. Essentially, I realized I didn't know much about what I was doing, but essentially, I always knew that real estate was the opportunity to get us out of the status quo. Um, you know, this was the vehicle that would get us to time and money freedom.
For myself, it was, mostly Michelle who brought in this passion and this drive to learn more about it and to get educated on real estate investing and to see how it can help us design our own lives. And so at first, I was a little reluctant. It was new to me. But just through exposure and just understanding how real estate investing in particular can be a vehicle that really supports anybody, whether you're new or seasoned investor, but focusing on real estate can offer opportunities that otherwise wouldn't exist, whether it's day-to-day cash flow to increase your day-to-day cash flow, or to think about generational wealth and to think about how your retirement will look. And so it allows you to really create a life by design, a retirement by design, or a legacy by design that you can pass on to future generations if that's what you choose to do.
Nice, nice. Um, so there's a lot of different paths we learn about as we try to educate ourselves in real estate investing. A lot of different directions we can go, and quite frankly, there's a lot of distractions or squirrels, as I like to call them, that come and tempt you away from the path. Which path are you following? Where is it? Which of the many work streams or investing streams are you following, and why?
Mhm. It's a great question, and there's so many opportunities out there, as you mentioned, and so there's a little bit of everything for everyone if you're interested in real estate investing. For ourselves, we got into multifamily. That is our main focus, and I'll let Michelle tell a little bit in terms of why.
Multifamily, as a fellow mentor would say, there's a lot of leaks for when you buy one home, one furnace, one tenant, one roof. You know, if that one tenant does not forgets to pay or does not have the money to pay, then you are the owner and you have to figure it out. When you have many more tenants, if one tenant does not pay, then there's a chance you're still making your mortgage payment. We find that, the return on investment is best there, but this is what we chose.
Yeah, and I think another opportunity behind the multifamily, to delve a little bit beyond what Michelle said, once you start running the numbers and doing all the work that you would do for a single dwelling unit or a duplex or a triplex, with a little bit of a mindset shift, you realize that everything you're doing for that single duplex, triplex is the exact same work that you're doing for your 12 plus building, 12 units or plus building. And so with the right mindset shift, you can, fairly quickly scale up and really become a little bit more risk savvy by increasing the amount of contributors to your mortgage and whatnot, so that if you do have a particular event, say someone moves out, or there's issues with payment or whatever it may be, that it's almost like a non-event because there are so many other contributors that are participating and contributing to your investment itself. So for us, multifamily was just an opportunity for us to scale up and also realize that we're actually mitigating our risks at a higher level by branching or building or growing our mindset in terms of what we can do and what we can acquire under our portfolio.
Perfect, perfect. So so in the multifamily space, then, are you considering yourselves active investors or passive investors or money partners or working partners, or however you want to phrase it? Which side of the coin do you see yourselves?
So the experience right now is in the passive investors. So we've put our money to work in some projects, and now we consider ourselves active investors. So we're actively looking and negotiating at multifamily units, 12 and up.
Yeah, it's been a really unique journey for us because, as Michelle mentioned, starting as a passive investor, it really allows us to, be empathetic and have the concept or the perspective of the investor themselves. We've been on the other side of the shop. We've been the ones lending out our money, asking the questions. And so we feel that while we had the opportunity to be passive investors, twofold. We took the opportunity to educate ourselves and really devour as much knowledge as we felt we needed to transition from passive investing over to active partners. And so with that experience, we bring along a lot of our passion in terms of why we like passive investing. But right now we are, and at some point your own money runs out. So we are now putting on the hats of active investors with the lens and experience of being passive investors. So we feel like it's a really unique opportunity as active partners to bring in that mind frame and mindset.
Too cool. Too cool. So with you now switching into the seat of the active investor, focused on 12 units and up, what does your future look like as you follow this path, and where is this going to take you?
Great question.
What we would like is to build a large enough portfolio that gets us to retire from our day jobs. Essentially, to gain that time freedom, time freedom to be with family, time freedom to work on ourselves even more, time to discover the different parts of you that you just didn't have time for. And I think as years go by, there's so much more that about us that we haven't discovered. We're so busy that we don't have the time to discover those things or to even try. So those are some of the things. What else would you say, Melissa?
Yeah, absolutely. I would also add in there the future is also in terms of what we can do for the community. So, our slogan is build wealth, pay it forward. So we're very much looking forward to creating multiple streams of income so that not only are we supporting ourselves, but we can support our community at large and, those charities that we truly believe in and we're already giving to, but we can hopefully give at a way bigger scale.
Yeah.
Another thing that we like to focus on is, there's so much room in this environment for everybody. It really isn't a place where this industry isn't really a place where, we need to kind of hoard our deals or our ideas or our concepts. And, there's a lot of place for us to educate others because, by changing the way we focus on our streams of income, we would like to bring other people along with us for the journey, because if we are in a space where we can travel more and we have more time to ourselves and we're able to donate, we want others to be on that journey with us so that we can share that experience with others and, have people to go on vacations with or have people to, talk about real estate with and why keep all this, gatekeep this information when there's tons of room in the community for more investors, more people who are willing to do the active work, the passive work, whatever it may be. And my final note is generational wealth. So, inflation, it is something that is on everybody's mind. It's becoming so much more expensive to just live. And so, we both have nieces and a nephew, and, I worry of what it's going to be like for them. And so if we can have something or some type of legacy that we can leave behind so that they can live a little bit more comfortable life, that's absolutely a future that I strive towards and would love to see one day.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, there's so much truth in what you're saying. The cost of living is going up, and it sounds like it's going to go up some more here shortly. And so, what I consider important to me is very much in alignment with yourselves and trying to make sure that the future is not going to be impossible for my son and nieces and nephews and cousins to overcome. So wherever possible, trying to find a way to help out. You mentioned being able to go on holiday. Where would you go?
Well, we've been collecting a bucket list and we've been very blessed to knock some of them out of that list. But future, we love Europe and would love to go back to Europe a little bit more and explore, more of Italy. My family's Dutch, so to go back to Holland, but
Cross Canada
is something that's very important to us too. It'd be very lovely if we could drive coast to coast and work at the same time and build real estate, maybe have some podcasts along the way. This is all stuff that we can do while traveling.
Yeah.
So that's an opportunity for us to really focus on and really strive towards as we grow our business.
Grow our business, and also grow as a couple, right?
Yeah, of course.
Live a life that. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Would you consider investing across Canada and or Europe, or are you where you're focusing?
We're not taking anything off the table.
Oh, is that right? Cool. Tell me about there's obviously a lot of risks when we're investing that we need to be conscious of, right?
Mm.
What are the risk management strategies that you're employing? What are the thresholds that you're putting in place to try and make sure that you stay whole as the markets go up and down and everything else happens, government direction changes, etc.
Absolutely, and that's a great question because you'll talk to people who are past sorry, who are passionate about real estate, and they'll talk about all the things we love, but we would be remiss not to talk about the risks and whatnot. It's for us, one of the biggest things we've done for ourselves in terms of mitigating risks is education. Join various levels of or various groups of education to be to get get those modules to absorb the information. Also coaching. We've had coaches throughout the years who have supported us with project plans and underwriting, and supporting us through the first few offers that we put into the buildings. But really talk about risks, talk about the elephant in the room, and to make sure that we feel really good about the deals that we have in front of us that we're underwriting, to make sure that we have had the opportunity to reflect on every angle of the deal to, again, just mitigate those risks. And in terms of a threshold, did you want to touch a little bit about threshold?
Threshold? No, I wasn't going there, but what I will touch on is so essentially, Melissa and I, we've given Investor 101 presentations to our friends and family. And essentially, we definitely touch on the risks of private lending and all of those things because, yes, people talk about all the great things about real estate, but things can go awry. And so you want to inform your friends and family about all the risks. And that's something that I think it's important that we're teaching everyone. So as great as the deal can be, you just have to make sure you mitigate those risks. And but there's a way to do it, and this is and the way to go about it.
It's so incredibly true. The gains and the benefits can be huge, but so too are some of those risks, right? Some
Mhm.
of the things that we can assume and try and factor for in the underwriting. You still need to be keeping your awareness for all of the things outside of the numbers that can play a role in what we're doing.
And part of our relationship management, when we are talking with investors and really establishing the trust amongst our investors, there's almost like a roadmap, a friendship roadmap, if you will, from the first time you meet with a potential investor to the point where they actually hand you over funds. And for us, part of that, Michelle was alluding to it with the Investor 101, is that we also take the time to educate our investors on the risks, so that not only is it that we understand our risk, but it's important for our investors to understand the risk too. And I don't know if a lot of investors are doing that, but for us, it complemented our values to make sure that everybody was, on the same page in terms of, the exciting parts, but also the risk.
Yeah.
Magic. So we all have a why, something that moves us, something that's the golden light, and it's not just the path we're following, but it's the end, it's the vision, it's the where does success finally meet all of your hard work. So have you been able to articulate that? Is it something that's changed over time? Do you see a different picture from when you first started investing to where you are looking now? And quite frankly, so what is the goal? How are you going to know when you get there?
Can you go with our why? Yeah. So our why is it started when I lost my mom a few years ago, and so I lived close to my parents, about 5 minutes away, for pretty much all of my life. But Melissa, her family lives in Timmins, which is not the doorstep away. When I lost my mom, it really, really instilled in me urgency and feeling like, oh my God, we need to get Melissa have more time with her family because you never know when it's time. And so I think that, anyways, my big part of my why is making sure that we have enough time and enough funds that there's no barrier between the relationship between Melissa and her family.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's it's hard when we lose family members. It's going to happen, but it's really hard when it does. I've been
Change
there.
the world.
Absolutely.
I fully aligned with your why on that. There's so much to do and so little time to get it done. Embrace every moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm. So I mean, I'm pretty close to the end of the questions I've got for you. Is there anything more that you'd like to say to the audience?
I think for any of the new investors who are out there and wondering if this is a space for them, come in, join the real estate investing community, expose yourself to just, if being a fly on the wall is, your way in and just observe for a little bit, do that. If you want to join different education groups so that you can acquire the knowledge you need, do that. Just keep exposing yourself to people who are doing what it is you want to do. And I think eventually through time, and of course, you're going to make different decisions in terms of what you're going to join, what you're going to do to scale yourself up if that's what you truly choose. But I think the easiest and the simplest way to even just start is to expose yourself to people who are already doing it. Join communities, join conversations, ask people about their deals and let them talk to you about it, and then just start questions there. Just be curious, be knowledge curious, and with through exposure, you'll realize if this is something you actually want to delve into, and or if it's something that you may not. But I think the more you expose yourself to the community itself, the more information you're gonna gain, no matter what, because people loved real estate investors love talking about real estate and love talking about investing. So you'll get that knowledge, and hopefully you'll catch that bug to take control and build the life that you deserve by design and not just by, grinding out a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Um, Before we say goodbye, I want to encourage everybody to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast if you've enjoyed it. Share it with your friends. And finally, back to you two. If somebody wants to reach you, how should they go about doing that? What's the best way?
They can reach us on Facebook at Mich'n Mel REI. I pretty much do business from Mich'n Mel REI instead of my own, Michelle Mulligan. Melissa.
Gerard, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah.
We also are known in the community as Magnetic Ventures, so you can find Magnetic Ventures on Facebook as well, and Instagram.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's been a true pleasure.
The pleasure is all ours, Steve.
Thanks, everybody.